What's going on, Slay Baes? It's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my very first fall makeup tutorial of the season, which is so exciting for me because fall looks are so much more smoky, sultry, and sexy. I also love playing around with like a deep vampy lip, so we'll see what I come up with today. Since I do live in Florida, I don't really get to see the seasons change. Honestly, the only thing that really changes for me personally is my makeup. So we're gonna play around today. I did make sure this look was very affordable for you, which I know you guys love. So subscribe if you haven't already. Click that little bell so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which has been 3 times a week. Hello. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that, I'm just gonna bring you guys in a little bit closer so that way we can start the transformation. Woo, this is not a pretty sight to look at, but let's actually start off with my eyes. As you can see, my brows are already done. I did do them off camera for the sake of timing. For eyeshadow primer today, I will be using the NYX Proof It waterproof eyeshadow primer right here. Now, I am still testing this out. I do like it, but it depends on the day. Like some days I feel like it makes my eyelids look extremely dry, like I aged like 60 years, but hopefully that's not the case today. I did already moisturize my entire face, so I'm hoping there is some slip there that's not going to cause it to be dry. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this all over. This is actually just gonna help with the overall longevity of my eyeshadow. I always recommend going in with an eyeshadow primer, especially if you are doing more of a dramatic eye like we're gonna do today. I'm just gonna grab a brush to blend it out. Now you can just use your fingers, but I actually just like to use a brush because I find that this could be a little bit sticky. I will definitely say the only thing I don't like about this eyeshadow primer is that it doesn't have any coverage to it. As you can still see all my veins and all of that. So if you do struggle with like, veinage, discoloration, it's not really gonna help out in that aspect, but it will definitely help out with the longevity. So I mean, it really just depends on what you're going for. The eyeshadow palette I'm gonna use today is this one right here. This is the brand new So Jaded palette that Kathleen Lights created in collaboration with ColourPop. Y'all, how cute is this? I literally just got it in the mail like 2.5 seconds ago. So I saw it and I was like, girl, I am using you today. There are so many beautiful like jewel tone shades in here. So I think it is going to be the perfect palette to create my first fall makeup look using. So the first shade I'm going to pick up is this one right here. It's called Precious. It is a bone colored shadow. I'm going to pick up an M441 and I'm just going to rock this in my crease to act as a really nice thin layer of shadow before I start, amping it up. Hold the phone. Do you guys see this? Like, I haven't even really gotten into using any color, and this eyeshadow primer just ain't it for me. Like, look. You can definitely see that it's kind of like sticking in a weird way, and this is literally a bone colored shadow. I can't even imagine if I would have went in with a very dark color. It would have been so patchy. Don't love that for me. So I'm actually gonna wipe this off and prime my eyelids with something different. So I just sifted through my makeup collection and I realized I don't even own an affordable eyeshadow primer outside of the one from NYX that I just put on. So I will be using concealer. I'm gonna use this by CoverGirl. This is the brand new CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. Today I'm gonna use the shade M100, which is Golden Natural. I'm gonna put this all over and this is gonna be my eyeshadow primer for the day. This is actually gonna give me the coverage that I want, so I'm not even mad at it. And I'm just gonna blend this out with a sponge. This one's by e.l.f. Now that my eyelids are nice and muted out, I am gonna go in with the shade called My Precious. And I'm just gonna do the same thing and just put a little bit of this in the crease. This is really gonna help with blending, especially because I'm using concealer, which tends to be a little bit more tacky than an actual eyeshadow base. So I wanna make sure I put a really nice even layer of this in my crease. Time to go in with some color. I'm gonna go in with this mustard yellow right here. It's called Citrine. What did I tell you guys about yellows and palettes? Like, I don't care what it is, I always make sure I use them because they are so pretty, especially in the crease. I like this one because it is more of a mustard brown, so it's perfect for fall. I'm just gonna take that same M441 and use this to really blow this out right here in my crease. Ooh, this is really pigmented. So let's actually talk a little bit about the So Jaded eyeshadow palette. I definitely want to give you guys some information on it. So the palette does retail for $39 and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You get 30 eyeshadows. Sorry, I should have counted prior to actually recording, but you get 30 eyeshadows. You also get a mixture between some pressed glitters, some mattes, and shimmers, which is amazing. I feel like there's a really, really good variety in this palette. And honestly, $39 for 30 eyeshadows, that's a really awesome deal. The next shade I'm gonna pick up is this one right here. It's called Geo Dude, and I am gonna take it on a smaller version of like an M441. This right here is an M514, and I'm using this brush, which is slightly smaller because I don't want to take this color above the yellow. I really want to keep it on my crease and just like a little bit on the lid. So now that my crease is nice and smoked out, I want to go in with this shade right here. It's called Jade. It is a really beautiful like hunter green. I'm going to take that on a clean M441, and I'm going to start placing it right here in the very outer corner of my eyelid. Going in small circular motions and really like blending it onto my lid. I'm just switching brushes to an M507, and I'm just lightly packing and buffing it inwards. I'm going to pick up just a little bit more of Jade on an M507, and I'm just lightly going to take a little bit of this in like the very inner 1/3 of my crease, but nothing too crazy. Like I definitely don't want it to be too dramatic. So I'm going to wipe some of that color off and then just get it to blend into the look. So the next shade I've been looking at nonstop from within the palette is called Tiger Eye. It's this one right here. It's a really beautiful kind of like duochrome eyeshadow. So I'm going to pick up an M124 brush and spritz it with a little bit of fixing mist. I'm just going to use this one right here by Catrice. It definitely has turned into one of my personal favorites. This is the Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. So I'm going to just spray my brush and then tap this all over the lid. So I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I actually don't love that shade as much as I thought I was gonna love it. It really just doesn't pop like I thought it would. It just looks very, very dull and very boring. So I'm gonna go in with this shade instead. This is called Emerald. It is a really beautiful green. I'm gonna pop that directly over top. I'm gonna first start off with my finger and just put it over top of that color. Okay, that's looking like a million times better. I'm gonna use my brush now, and I'm gonna pack that on all over the lid, and I'm also going to put it on a little bit damp. So I'm gonna spray my brush with a little bit of my Prime and Fine Dewy Fixing Mist by Catrice. So if I'm being completely honest, I really don't feel like this color is going on how it should be because I am laying it over top of that shade called Tiger's Eye. So I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer, carve out some lid space, and then reapply. So now that I have that concealer in place, I'm kind of feeling like I want to switch gears just one more time. I don't really want to do like a really dark lid color. So instead, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's called Smoky Quartz, and I'm going to put that all over my eyelid. So I might actually skip out on wing eyeliner completely for this look, but we'll see how things go when I get to the rest of the face. I'm gonna start off with this. This is by Fourth Ray Beauty. This is the Papaya Face Milk. It's supposed to illuminate and moisturize the skin. I haven't really dabbled into Fourth Ray Beauty as much as I probably should have. I wanna say that this is a sister brand to ColourPop, which is really, really awesome. I'm just going to buff and blend this in with my fingers. Ooh. And this smells really good as well. By the way, you guys, I'm wearing press-on nails. This is a collaboration with Salon Perfect and Brittany Bare Makeup. I actually really like these. Normally, I don't reach for gaudy nails like this, like with the designs on them anymore, but I really do like these. They fit my nail bed really, really nicely as well. For face primer today, I'm going to use the Dew Primer by e.l.f. You guys know this is definitely one of my all-time favorite primers from e.l.f. It's quickly become like a staple in my routine. Like I can't do my makeup without using it. It is a spot-on dupe for the Hydro Grip Primer by Milk Makeup. So I'm just going to work this into my skin, and this is just going to make sure my foundation has something to stick to and it stays on all day. Of course, I have to do a little bit of color correcting. Whoop, I had a hair there. So I'm going to use this by Pixi. This is my Pixi Brightening Peach Concentrate. You guys know how much I love to use this to actually brighten underneath my eyes and cancel out any discoloration. So I'm going to take this right here to cancel out the darkness, because as you can see, it's slightly dark in that area, and that's mainly because I don't get as much sleep as I should. So many of you have actually purchased this per my recommendation. So if you guys did purchase this, let me know how you guys feel about it. I would love to know your thoughts on it. I know everyone's different. I know some people like certain things, some people don't. So I want to know how it's working for you. Now that I'm nice and color corrected, I'm gonna move on to foundation. Now I will be trying out a brand new foundation. This is by Koki. This is their full cover foundation. It's in a really, really nice glazed packaging. It also has a pump, and I have two different shades. I have shade 40W and also shade 60W. I'm probably gonna try to mix the two to try to get my perfect match, but we'll see. I have my mixing palette right here, so I'm gonna put the shade 40W onto the mixing palette. Ooh, and it does look like a thicker formula. As you guys can see, it's not running at all, so it definitely is a thick foundation. I'm actually gonna take my flat brush and do a better job at color matching. So this right here is 40W, and this one right here is 60W. I can tell you right off the bat that this definitely isn't gonna be my shade. I don't even really need to put it on. I'm just gonna roll with the shade 40W, and I am gonna use my damp sponge by e.l.f. to apply it all over the skin. I'm just spraying my sponge with a little bit of the Prime and Fine by Catrice because I love, love, love that spray, and it really, really makes my foundation look super nice and glowy when I spray it on my sponge first. So I'm starting in the center, and I'm gonna work my way outwards. Ooh, this foundation might be slightly off for me, but we could definitely make it work for the sake of the video. So right off the bat, I will definitely say that this foundation has really, really good coverage to it. Like, most definitely, it's a full coverage foundation. I'm really gonna build this up though, because I want to be like, super beat. Alright, you guys, so the foundation is blended out. I will say it definitely looks a little bit dry on my skin. I'm definitely into more of a very, just like in the middle foundation, like not too dewy, not too glowy, not too matte. And this one, it's leaning a little bit too dry looking. For concealer, I'm going to use this by Maybelline. This is the Super Stay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer in the shade Light. I feel like this is going to be very, very matte underneath my eyes, but we'll see. It is full coverage though, and I definitely need the coverage. I'm just like not really sure how I feel about the foundation. Like I said, it does look and feel extremely dry on my skin. Like up close and personal, it's kind of like what's happening, like what's the situation, but I'm gonna take the sponge and blend out this concealer. By the way, you guys, I'm sorry if my lighting keeps changing. I'm actually filming in front of a window now, and the sun kind of peeks through and it goes behind the clouds, and it kind of changes the lighting a little bit, but I do intend on fixing that very, very soon. And there's Luna drinking water. Story of my life. You guys, so I just wanted to zoom you in because I'm not kidding. This foundation looks so bad on my skin. This really is not a look. Like, this ain't it, sis. So I'm actually gonna take my entire foundation and stuff off, start again, put something on off camera, and let you guys know what I use, because I can't continue like this. Like, I can't recommend something that I hate right off the bat. So BRB. I'm back. I did my foundation off camera, and honestly it looks a million times better. Very, very happy with it. I did just use the Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Foundation by Makeup Revolution. I recently did a full review and wear test on this foundation. I mixed shade 5.6 and F5.7 together to get a perfect shade for myself. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use the matching concealer, the Conceal and Hydrate in 5.7. This is C5.7, by the way, for concealer. I'm going to dot some underneath my eyes and blend it out, just because I feel like my skin is pretty dry right now. With all the humidity here in Florida, my skin always gets dry, so I don't think that Koki one was the best for me. I mean, the foundation could work for me later on down the road when my skin isn't as dry, but right now it just was not happening for me. Ooh, I really like the way that looks. Again, if you haven't seen my full review, I highly suggest that you guys check it out because it is a pretty good one. It's a 9-hour wear test. Whatever's left on my sponge, I'm just gonna tap it down the center of my forehead, bridge my nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin. For my face powder today, I will be using this by Collab. You guys know, tried and true, it's what I love to use to set underneath my eyes. This is our Collab Set the Stage Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder in the shade Porcelain Ivory. I literally just got a restock. It's been sold out at my Sally Beauty for so long now, so I'm really glad I have a restock and a backup because, girl, this powder is amazing. So I'm going to take a little bit of this to set directly underneath my eyes. I'm also going to use some down my T-zone, so forehead, nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. Now to add some color back into my skin, I will be using this by Kokie. Now this is a product from Kokie that I really, really love. This is the Powder Contour Palette, very, very similar to the Kat Von D Shade and Light Palette. I'm gonna take this shade right here with a little bit of this shade, mix them together, and I'm gonna use that to bronze up the skin. For blush today, I'm going to use this by Kathleen Lights. This is the Pressed Powder Blush in the shade I Need Space. And this is such a beautiful shade that I think is going to look really, really great with this look. Like, it's not too bright. It's also not too dark. It is a really, really beautiful kind of like neutral tone shade. So I'm going to pick up the Buildable Cheek Brush by Smashbox, smile a little bit, and just dust this onto my cheeks. And for highlight today, I'm going to use this by CoverGirl. This is the True Blend Super Stunner Hyper Glow Highlighter in the shade Pearl Crush. I'm just applying it with that same buildable cheek brush, smiling and popping it right here on the apples of my cheeks and blending it back. Gonna take a little bit on the tip of my nose. Wow, you guys, this is so pigmented. Gonna put some on my temples and chin. Wow, you guys, this highlighter is so incredibly gorgeous. I'm literally obsessed. But anyways, I'm going to jump back into the So Jaded palette. I'm going to pick up the shade called Jade on a flat definer brush. And I'm going to push this closest to my lash line to really connect my shadow on my upper lid with my lower lash line. Then with a little bit of this yellow shade called Citrine on a M507, I'm going to use that to really just smoke and buff out the lower lash line. Because right now it's looking really, really harsh. And you guys know I love a smoky lower lash line. I feel like it brings the whole look together, you know what I mean? Jelly bean. So I went ahead and popped on falsies. I just put on these by Salon Perfect. I did use these in my last video. It is a collaboration with Brittany Bare Makeup. This right here is a style Verified, and I feel like they went with this look very, very well. I didn't even put on liner or anything. They kind of flare out towards the end, so it kind of just goes with the entire eye shape. I'm now gonna go in with my lip color. I'm gonna go all out and I'm gonna apply this lip color right here. It is a collaboration with Becky G by ColourPop. This one is in the shade Chola. So I'm gonna put this on all over. This right here is the final and completed look. Now I know the lips are a little bit dramatic. You could definitely swap them out for a nude lip if that's what you're more comfortable in. I wanted to go all out for this look because anytime I do an intense eye look, I always gravitate more towards nudes. I wanted to switch up the pace and create a look that was completely different than any other look I've ever filmed on my channel, and I definitely feel like I achieved that in today's video. If you guys want to see more fall looks, all you have to do is smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that bell so that way YouTube will notify you anytime I upload. I don't have much else to say except thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.